And there's been a lot of talk in the old college football world lately about preseason polls. I'm sure you've heard a ton of discussion about this because, of course, the fact that especially this year's college football preseason poll was so wrong, or appears to be so wrong here as we are approaching week 7. Most teams have played 5, 6 games, whatever it is, right? Most teams have played 5 games. So it's interesting, though, because you look, I'm going to go back to the preseason poll. AP preseason poll, and it was released, I believe, I looked this up, August 11th. Number 1, Texas. We're going to talk about Arch Manning. Number 2, Penn State. Number 3, Ohio State. Okay, pretty good there. I know I'm biased as a Buckeyes fan. Number 4, Clemson. Yikes. Then you got number 5, Georgia. You got Notre Dame. You got Oregon. You got Alabama, LSU, and Miami, rounding out the top 10 of the preseason poll, which again came out about 2 months ago or so, right there in early to mid-August. Let's now go to the most recent poll. And this is AP I'm talking. So we had the preseason poll. This is now week 7. So we've had 8 polls. And there's my Buckeyes, 5-0, number 1. They got 40 first place votes. Miami, the U, number 2, 21 first place votes. Oregon, number 3, 5 first place votes. So let's give the voters some credit there, especially with the top 3. All 3 of those teams were very highly ranked: Ohio State, Miami, Oregon. Then you got Ole Miss, you got Texas A&M right now at 5, Oklahoma, Indiana. I'm not buying Indiana as the number 7 team in the country. Alabama 8, Texas Tech 9, and Georgia 10. So I've been hearing all the talkers and reading articles and all that, and a lot of folks are basically saying that we got to get rid of the preseason polls. Preseason polls are stupid. Preseason polls don't make any sense. You don't know anything. There's too much player movement with the portal and everybody transferring all the time. It's not good information. And guess what? I agree with those folks 100% in the fact that the preseason polls, they're stupid. But guess what? They're fun also. They're part of the fabric of college football and always have been. It gives us something to talk about. All right. Oh, this team's ranked. This is a ranked win early on. Now, here's the disclaimer. What we need to get away from is buying so much into the preseason poll that it has effects 2-3 months later when we've seen now 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 games, and we have all the data points from all the games. Now, there's always going to be a little bit of, okay, this team beat this team week 1, week 2, when the team was ranked. Maybe there was some injuries after that. Whatever happened. I do think teams change along the way. Teams improve. Teams get worse. Teams have more to play for. Teams have less to play for. Again, you have injuries and all that. At the end of the day, though, my point is the preseason polls, they're fun. It gives us something to talk about. Yeah, they're pretty stupid. They don't mean a lot. They usually get it about 2/3 right. Maybe 3/4 right. I think most recently that there's 8 teams in the preseason top 25 that have dropped out of the poll. But I think the reason everybody obviously is talking about it so much right now, it wasn't just 8 teams or however many teams are no longer in the poll. It's the fact that the big dog teams, we're talking top 5 teams, are no longer even ranked. And I mentioned those teams, but you got Texas. You got Penn State. Texas was 1. Penn State, 2. Clemson, number 4. But here's the other part about this. I always like to put myself in the shoes of the voters. Are you that mad? Were you that mad that Texas was ranked number 1? Now I'll say this. Arch Manning so far has been completely overrated. Maybe more overrated than any player I can remember because he was so hyped up. So that's where I think it was fair to say you hadn't seen enough from Arch Manning, who's running the show. We all know the quarterback is the most important position in football and all of sports. You hadn't seen enough of Arch Manning versus top competition week in, week out to have Texas number 1. I think that's fair. But you look at Texas last year, they get to the Final Four, they lose to Ohio State, they're returning a lot of talent. I don't have a lot of issue with Texas being number 1 because of the roster. But again, Arch Manning unproven. Penn State, same deal. Penn State gets to the Final Four. They're returning its quarterback. They play Notre Dame in the Final Four. They're coming back. Obviously, James Franklin, this has been following him for years. And ever since he's been at Penn State, he can't win the big one. Penn State ranked number 2, though. I mean, I never thought Penn State was going to be better than Ohio State. But again, I don't have a ton of problems with that. Clemson, the way Clemson finished last year, that, I know this is hindsight, but you can kind of see where that's going, where that was a bit of a reach. And also, Dabo Swinney, who had things rolling there. If we're talking 7, 8 years ago, Clemson, the best program in football for a couple of years there, right there with Alabama. I mean, Alabama was always the best program overall under Saban, but we did a live stream a couple weeks ago where whatever the period of time was for Clemson, I think it was about 2015 to 2020, where they were finishing the year top 5 or top 4, whatever it was, every single year, including 2 national championships with 2 different teams, 2 different quarterbacks, Deshaun Watson and Trevor Lawrence. But obviously Clemson this year, they're not playing like the Clemson of 7 or 8 years ago. So when you look at the movement also, how about the Missouri Tigers? That's quite a game coming up. 5-0 Missouri. Mizzou is ranked number 14 in the country. And they're hosting Alabama, number 8. Alabama 4-1 on the season. That's going to be a fun game to watch this coming Saturday.